So I'm Ricky. I'm the head of engineering for Shift. I just remember the days when I was huddled around an old Acorn Electron with the rest of my siblings smashing out Pac-Man, and that was when I first had my real introduction to technology. Little did I know it at the time, but Pac-Man, the original Pac-Man. Academics wasn't really the natural thing for me. I was a standard grade C kind of student, but the problem wasn't that I couldn't grasp the complexities. It was because I just left everything to the last minute. Studying wasn't how I preferred to do things. So I was actually introduced to computing science through a HND, or a Higher National Diploma, back home in the UK. And from that kind of hands-on approach to introducing myself to computing science and programming and coding and databases and architecture, I kind of realized that I loved it even more. So I graduated with an honours degree, a bachelor's degree in computing science eventually, and used that to leverage the rest of my career. So I guess the question often is, well, you know, is the computing science degree worth it? And I'd absolutely say it is, but you want to be really hands-on as early as possible. Yeah. And I think that's the key difference for me from the diploma versus the computing science degree. One is quite academic, and it was fine when I got there, but I really loved the hands-on delivery of something tangible that I could see and touch. Yeah. For me, I've really benefited from balancing the textbook versus the pragmatic approach to delivering software and the softer skills related to leadership and management. So I think, yes, there are textbooks out there, things like, or books like, you know, Design Patterns by the Gang of Four. You've got Domain-Driven Design by Eric Evans, been around for a long time, and anything by Uncle Bob Martin, Clean Coding. Yeah, go for it. Those kind of get into that, but also there are the classics like The Pragmatic Programmer by Dave Hunt, perhaps. Great book, and it gives you some insights more in how to change your thinking rather than to deliver something quite technical. If I'm speaking quite generally and more broadly, I'm particularly impressed by people who have an opinion. They're open to,
regardless of how junior they are.
Yeah, I think you should always have an opinion. Yeah, I think if as long as you're willing to accept that your opinion may be wrong or needs a little bit of work, those strong opinions held loosely is important. I'm looking for strong communicators. I don't think we can exist in a world where you can just be deeply technical anymore. You've got to be able to communicate with your stakeholders, with your product managers, with your customers even, to really empathize and understand the problems that you're trying to solve, which means we build better solutions. So I think someone who has the skill, the will, they want to learn, they're eager and hungry to do new things and take on new challenges. They communicate well, and they have opinions. Whether they're incorrect or not is fine. We'll work through it. If I'm totally honest, I'm never really looking for the perfect solution when we do something like that. I want to get to know the candidate and how they operate, how they solve problems. I think of it when I think back to the days when I was doing mathematics at high school, and the teacher always told me to capture my working. That's what we're looking for when we're assessing a technical assessment from a candidate. If 2 hours doesn't cut it, that's okay. Show us what you did, why you did it that way. Have the rationale to describe your thinking. And if you can capture that somehow in your commits or your comments, that's exactly what we're after.
Yeah, okay.
Definitely read.
Okay.
Read more. Whatever you're reading, read more of it. Work on those soft skills as well as the technical skills. Make time for it. I wish I had read more back in the day. It took me a long time to realize that that's the bit that was missing for me. I think we learn from other people, so you've got a few options. You change organization, you work with incredible people in the organization that you're already with, or you just read about it. It's all there. Watch YouTube, whatever. The other thing I think is something that I've noticed in certain frameworks where people tie themselves to the constraints of a framework. They work in the framework, and they forget about the powerful language that's embedded within the framework. Challenge yourself to work outside of that a little bit from time to time. Don't be afraid of the language, but do it in a way that allows you to kind of feel around the edges a little bit.